Yo, 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 what is going on, everyone? Extra Father here. We're doing a little bit of a different video today. We're going to be reacting to Xbox Seriously Cannot Fumble Gears 6 from The Escapist, and let's get right into it.
It's been an interesting time for Xbox, to say the least. As more and more Xbox exclusives are making their way onto PlayStation and Nintendo, the gaming discourse for Xbox fans and fanatics has been centered around what games will be next to go multiplat. And one major franchise that keeps coming up in rumors and speculation is none other than Gears of War, my personal longtime favorite. Although I wouldn't mind if Gears spread its wings and made its way onto other platforms, my concern is actually on Gears of War 6, or Gear 6.
Can they fumble Gears 6? I mean, like, can they really do such a bad job that they can't recover for it? I don't think so, but I guess we'll see.
Because I feel it has to be an absolute hit and nothing less. And with the Xbox showcase coming up and the next Gears being rumored to be there, I'm hoping for this game to stop all of my doubts. Meaning,
I hope so.
I don't want to see something like this again, okay? I don't want to see anything this underwhelming.
Yeah, that shit was so fucking...
You don't want to be like this.
Nope.
This is disgusting. Now, the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here. This area is not good either. I hate this, but I'm mainly worried about this.
Yeah.
Basically, in a nutshell, Xbox, you cannot F this up again. And if you're a fan of rumors, there's been talk of a high chance that Xbox will indeed show out with this next Gears entry.
I really hope it does, because the Gears 6, like Unreal Engine 5 on Gears of War, specifically a game like Gears of War, is going to look so goddamn fantastic with all the gore, all the executions, the wear and tear of the war is just going to look so fucking good.
It will be groundbreaking and give us that moment like Gears of War 1 did for the Xbox 360.
That's true.
That's exactly what I want for Gears 6. I want the next generation of gamers to have that moment like we did when we first laid our eyes on this franchise. Because when I first saw Gears of War and that Berserker boss fight in that game, my jaw hit the floor.
I remember playing Gears of War for the first time. I actually played Gears of War 2 before I played Gears of War 1, but after playing Gears of War 1 for the first time all the way through to the campaign, man, is so in your face. Like, I wish I would have experienced that when the game first came out, because the game was so fucking brilliant with the atmosphere and like the darkness of war and grit. Like, it was just so good.
And I knew that I had to have it. Outside of Halo and Forza, Gears of War was a major reason a lot of us bought an Xbox, myself included. And even though the gaming landscape has changed quite a bit since then, and exclusivity is becoming a thing of the past, I still feel that Xbox needs this franchise to move the needle again.
They really do.
Push their catalog so that way more gamers will jump on board, keeping Xbox relevant and worth investing in.
Yeah, I do agree with the fact that Gears 6 does need to do more with the multiplayer, because just usual 5v5 is just not gonna cut it anymore, I don't think. Like, Gears 5 died within 2 months of his lifespan. Honestly, it really did. Because think of back when Gears of War 4 launched, they had these huge modes, or not huge modes, but they had these modes where like people could really get into it, like with esports, and people could earn skins watching the games. A lot of people were actually really into esports, and then Gears 5 with the pandemic really fucked it up. So hopefully they can really do something with a big mode to keep more new players invested into the game.
Ever since that cursed reveal of the Xbox One,
TV, sports TV.
It has been such an uphill battle for the Xbox brand, where their identity has become blurred.
Not only has it become blurred, but the fact that you have to be connected to the internet at all times in order to get achievements, in order to play most of your games, even if you've bought the game, the day one updates, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, having to be connected to the internet at all times, it just makes more sense to play the older Xbox versions, like the Xbox 360. Like, the Xbox 360 was a beast.
And what was once a must-have platform has now shifted focus to becoming accessible across multiple platforms, which isn't really a bad thing in itself, especially for the consumer. It's very consumer friendly. Play where you want to play, right? That's what Phil Spencer has been preaching multiple times. It's their focus now. But it's clear to see that this new focus has drastically changed the identity of Xbox.
Yeah, it's changed the identity. I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, but I have so much to like get off of my chest. But not only like has Gears fumbled because of the reason of Game Pass, because it's more like a free-to-play game now. Do you remember the microtransactions from Gears 5? Like, it was so bad. They got to the point to where they had to shut down the store for like a few weeks, I think. Like, they had so many problems with trying to make sure everyone was getting into the microtransactions. They were making people pay like $8 for a damn skin. Like, it was bad. Hopefully, Xbox realizes that all this stuff, especially for Game Pass, is a really bad way to go. Hellblade 2 is on Game Pass, which I am very... Oh my god. If you haven't played Hellblade 2, you need to go play it. Like, that game is fantastic. But, yeah, let's just get on with the video.
Gears of War was such a huge part of Xbox's identity on the Xbox 360.
It really was.
The dude bro shooter, as we called it. And it joined the likes of Halo and even Call of Duty in its prime, making the Xbox 360 a must-have. What's that saying? Ah, what a time to be alive. Friday nights and Gears of War lobbies where the men separated from the boys and told me to get back in the kitchen. I personally credit Gears of War for developing my thick skin because...
Do you see this this little overlay here with the gold in the top right? That was back when Season 5 landed, I think. No, Season 3? I think it was Season 3 or Season 4. It was whichever season had Dom on the front. I think it was Season 3 or 4. But that was the best part of Gears 5's lifespan. The Nasher was great. The kill range was pretty good. The re-ranked, like the redoing of ranked was really good. I liked that a lot. I think they could have improved on that. Yeah, and right now it's so fucking bland.
As bad as Call of Duty lobbies were, and they were pretty bad, Gears wasn't far behind, and I had my share of crazy lobby moments, but that was just part of the experience and what further got me to play the multiplayer and get better at it. Because there's nothing better than outplaying a dude who just told me I was trash. That's really what it was all about. But that was then, and this is now. And Gears, unfortunately, isn't as big as it once was.
No.
Some say that the franchise should have stopped after Gears of War 3, that it's been milked. Some say it's because of this thing. And others just don't really like the multiplayer enough to keep playing and keep it relevant. Because Gears multiplayer does have a high learning curve, and it's not a game that anyone can just pick up and be good at. But
that's why Gears of War 1 was so good. For Gears of War 1, the reason why it was so revered was because it was simple to play, and it was simple to get the grasp of things. But now, people are wall bouncing all over the place, doing all these wraparound, back A, like, just crazy moves that new players just literally can't get around. Like, if you're going up against a good, really good player, you have no fucking chance. You have no fucking chance.
Because of this, I strongly feel that the Coalition is stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to the multiplayer for Gears.
Time to be a bullet sponge.
It's almost impossible to please both the casuals and the hardcore Gears players. And it's a big reason that a lot of casuals don't stick with Gears of War, and numbers just typically dwindle. Couple that with the consensus that the original trilogy is better in almost every single way, and the new one just isn't up to that standard, and it's as if Gears of War has become an afterthought for a lot of Xbox fans. Which is disheartening to someone like me who really loves this franchise, especially the original trilogy. Which is why I strongly feel that this next Gears of War game needs to tap into that original Gears trilogy standard and
it really does, because thinking of the old days of Gears of War, man, like It's just so crazy to think about that. I used to play Gears of War like almost solely Gears of War 3 back when that game first came out, and I have a really hard time playing the new Gears games, especially 5, because it's just so hard to get into, especially like with no other people playing it. And I mean, like, you're gonna get the same lobbies in every ranked game you play. Quick play is just full of bots, so it's just hard to stay with it. It's tough. It's really tough for a content creator, especially.
By all means, aim for it, because the original trilogy is incredible, and for its time, it was revolutionary, and it still holds up today. I loved its characters, the intense gameplay, the dark and gritty atmospheres, along with its competitive multiplayer, like I just mentioned. It's what made Gears. And I know that multiplayer is not for everyone, but there was a time where it seemed everyone wanted to play it, and that's what I feel Gears really needs to be again. It needs to be shown at this next Xbox showcase as the force it once was. And
if you guys haven't checked out my newest video on this, you guys need to check it out, because I come up with a lot of different scenarios for what Gears 6 could do with an old mode that they can bring back like super easily. Make sure you go and check that out.
For that to happen, I think it needs to go back to what made it that way in the first place. The horror-like atmosphere, the dark, gritty graphics, the brutal combat, and a story that moves us to care about these characters. Yes. That's what Gears of War needs. And I'm hoping that the Coalition can get that back for us, to make us fall in love again. We know they're going to do amazing work with Unreal Engine 5, because if anyone can, it's the Coalition. They are wizards with that engine, so this thing is going to look beautiful, but there has to be more than that this time around. Right. There has to be that magic that it once was.
That's
and
what
with
Gears
the
5
recent
was.
announcement of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 being on Game Pass day one, there is a huge opportunity for Xbox to become that shooter box again, that dude bro box again, where people want to play shooters on Xbox. And with recent Xbox games coming out and somewhat disappointing fans after waiting years for them to arrive, mixed in with the fear of more games going multiplat, Xbox fans could probably use some reassurance. And I think there's no better way than a blockbuster Gears of War game that reinvigorates this franchise. Once and for all, just brings it back to what it was and reestablishes it as a strong force again. And ultimately, it will make Xbox the place to be again, even if it's just for a moment. That moment when the lights go dark and we see the Coalition go across the screen, and then Gears of War is shown to the world in all of its glory.
That moment
is placed so nicely in Xbox's lap right now, and I really hope they don't fumble it. But that's just what I think as a longtime Gears of War fan. What do you think? Do you think Gears 6 is a make or break for Xbox?
I think it is.
And if you're a Gears fan, are you setting up your expectations as high as I am? Definitely let us know in the comments.
Yeah, guys, make sure you go and check out her videos. She's got 1 million subscribers, so obviously she's doing a very good job. So, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching the content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.